Invest 91E has become more organized as we speak. We're seeing a lot of storms firing up on the eastern and northern side of the storm. Hello, I am Pat from Pat's Path Predictor. In this video, we're going to be giving you an update on what's going on with Invest 91E, as well as the latest models that have been coming in, just to show you what's going on and to see how long this may take to develop. Alright, so this is the situation we have. You can see this thing is really fired up. You can see there's a lot more storms than they were in the last update. Just to show you what's going on right here, let's go ahead and go move the frames back to 75 frames. And this is where it was last night, and then it started bubbling up very late last night. It started bubbling up right here. And it just turned into this massive cluster of thunderstorms right here. And we're seeing storms in the southeast quadrant starting to fire up some more. The northern quadrant has kind of fired up. We're still seeing those cloud tops in the 60s degree, in the minus 60s. So, yeah, these are very strong storms. I've also been keeping an eye on this thing right here that's developed right here and just has continued to develop as it moves to the south and as it rotates. So this thing, in my opinion, is not that far off from being a tropical depression as some might think it is, because I'm looking at the structure of this right now, and compared to last night, this looks so much better on satellite. We're seeing constant areas of basically storms firing up, potentially into the minus 80s cloud tops. Then there's a broad area of minus 70s, and then it calms down. And it's going on over and over again, so this isn't just a one-time thing and it dies off. It's continuing to develop. There is plenty of warm water to keep this thing developing. The wind shear is weak right now, and there's not very much dry air surrounding this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NHC, see what they have to say. This is what they have right here as of 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or 7 a.m. Central Time, or 8 a.m. Eastern Time. This is the south of the Gulf of Tepec. Shower and thunderstorm activity has increased and become a bit more concentrated near a surface trough located a few hundred miles southeast of the Gulf of Tehuantepec. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development, and a tropical depression is likely to form by this weekend as the system moves west-northwestward or northwestward at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Interest in southern Mexico should monitor the progress of this system. So that's basically what we have. But I want to take a look at the chances right here. There is now a 60% chance of this thing forming in the next 48 hours. It was 40 at the last update. Now it's at 60. So I want everyone to understand that. So the formation chance through the next 5 days, we're looking at 90%, which it was 80% last update. Now it's 90, so that's basically expected with this. But nevertheless, we're seeing this now as a likely chance of this thing developing in the next 2 days. So I want everyone to pay attention to this. If you're in southern Mexico right here, even if you're in the United States, it's something to keep an eye on, because hurricane season is about to start in the Atlantic. I mean, we already had an invest there, so we need to basically pay attention all around, because there is the possibility that this thing, if it stays together, enters the Gulf of Mexico. So that's basically what we have right here. So let's go ahead and look at the current storm information right here. This is Invest 91E. The current location of it, if we update it, is 12.7 degrees north, 94.5 degrees west. The maximum winds are still at 30 miles per hour, or 25 knots. Minimum central pressure is still at 1,009. So the pressure hasn't changed. The storms are just getting a bit more organized, and this system's getting more organized every hour as I speak. So that's basically what's going on. No change there with 130 nautical mile maximum winds. Let's go ahead and look at the tracks. The tracks are a bit interesting right here, because the tracks have it staying kind of offshore for the most part. Right here, we do have the AEMI making landfall in 5 days, but the most of these tracks have it staying offshore, and there's a bunch of loop-de-loops and all that. So we're just gonna have to wait and see when it comes to that. But I do think this is going to either this thing's going to make landfall at some point during its life cycle. So that's what I'm thinking. Stay tuned for that. The intensity has also changed. We don't have models going back to Category 3 strength anymore. However, we still have models having it as a strong Category 2, Category 1 hurricane. Most of the models at Cat 1 for hurricane strength. So some of them keep it at tropical storm strength, which based on the rate of its development right now, we might need to up the intensity a little bit, but at this point, it's too early for me to say definitively how strong this thing's going to be. But I am going to say, based on its development, based on the satellite imagery that I've been seeing, it's been developing. It's not really taking its time developing. It's actually developing quite quickly, honestly. So, yeah, I'm taking a look at this. This thing could be a tropical depression. This thing probably will be one in the next 2 to 3 days. If this might happen earlier, if this thing continues to get its act together, as basically that's the situation we have right here. So my own conjecture with this is that this thing is likely going to strengthen into a hurricane. How strong of a hurricane, I don't know. What I do know is that this thing is developing quite fast. There's plenty of warm water and a pretty weak wind shear. There's also not very much dry air invading it. So this thing has a lot of room to grow. So I'll just be keeping an eye on it. I'll be updating you guys as the situation develops, as I always do. My next update will be on the 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time advisory. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out and helps make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather, so I hope I am doing it with this. But with that being said, guys, have a wonderful day. Stay safe.